Tom Hanks is Hollywood's good guy. That's the image he's carried for decades: wholesome, loyal, drama-free. But recently, that perfect picture started to crack, all thanks to his daughter's raw, confessional memoir. Hanks, also known as Elizabeth, and dropped a bombshell in the form of a book, The Memoir of Family and the Open Road. It doesn't just tell her story. It lifts the curtain on her childhood, her late mother's volatility, and even brushes up against a chilling secret buried deep in her family's past. And while Tom is publicly supportive, his quiet expressions of pride carry a weight that suggests something deeper. So, what did EA actually reveal? Let's start at the beginning. Her words paint a childhood of chaos. EA grew up under the shadow of her mother, Samantha Lewes, Tom Hanks' first wife. While Samantha was known publicly as an actress and a lover of poetry, EA describes her as unpredictable and emotionally unstable. In one moment, her mother would be doting and affectionate. The next, screaming, spiraling, or speaking to voices only she could hear. EA doesn't shy away from painful truths. She says the love in her household often came laced with fear. At times, it was physical. At others, emotional. Her relationship with her mom was never steady, and her father, Tom, wasn't always present during those turbulent years. But then something happened that would shift everything without warning. EA vanished. At least in her father's eyes. Her mother had quietly uprooted the children, moving them from Los Angeles to Sacramento without informing Tom. One day, he arrived at school to pick them up, and they were simply gone. That incident ignited a battle behind closed doors. Eventually, Tom sought full custody. It wasn't until EA was allegedly struck in the face at age 14 that the court sided with him. She moved in with her father and his second wife, Rita Wilson, while still spending summers with Samantha, but the damage was done. That period carved permanent scars into EA's memory, and then came the Red Journal. A small notebook left behind by her late mother would unlock one of the darkest twists in EA's story. Inside, Samantha had scribbled cryptic entries, references to childhood trauma involving her own father, and what may have been an act of unspeakable violence. EA suggests the entries pointed toward murder. Even cannibalism. She couldn't verify the truth. But the mere possibility haunted her. If any of it was real, she wrote, then her mother never stood a chance. Those pages became her obsession. Not for drama, but for answers. It set her on a new path, not just to understand her mother, but to better understand herself. Her recollections grew darker. EA recalls her mother preaching out loud, holding one-sided conversations with God, refusing medical treatment out of paranoia that doctors were being paid off by her ex-husband to harm her. Food was inconsistent. Emotions ran wild. EA says her mother could no longer hold it together in public, and even the most basic routines became fractured. Eventually, Samantha passed away from lung cancer in 2002, just 49 years old. And fate, it seems, wasn't done testing this family. Years later, Tom's second wife, Rita Wilson, was diagnosed with the same illness. This time, the outcome was different. Rita survived. Let's rewind to how Rita entered the picture. Tom first noticed her as a teenager watching the Brady Bunch. He remembered her as that cute cheerleader, but it wasn't until years later, on the set of Bosom Buddies, that they met in person. Their chemistry was immediate, but at the time, Tom was still married to Samantha. According to Tom, there was no overlap, no betrayal. But rumors lingered. Their undeniable bond eventually blossomed into something more after his first marriage crumbled in 1986. Tom and Samantha officially split. Within a year, Tom and Rita were married. The love story took center stage. They became the model Hollywood couple, supportive, grounded, and deeply in sync. At every major award show, Tom gave glowing tributes to Rita. In his Oscar speech, he credited her for his success. Years later, he did the same while accepting a Lifetime Achievement Award. But what the public saw was only part of the story behind those red carpets and heartfelt speeches. EA was still trying to make sense of her split upbringing. She lived between two worlds, one shaped by instability, the other by performance and public praise. So, where does this leave Tom Hanks? He says he's proud of his daughter for writing the memoir. He praised her curiosity and courage. But his tone also hinted at discomfort, as if the truth cut both ways. Tom admitted that all families carry cracks. He acknowledged the bravery it took to dig into the past, even when the outcome wasn't flattering. And maybe that's what makes this story so human. It's not just about fame or scandal. It's about navigating pain, finding healing, and letting the world in. EA's memoir doesn't cancel her father. It reframes him. He's not just the guy from Forrest Gump or Saving Private Ryan. He's a man who made tough choices, lived through emotional fallout, and, whether knowingly or not, helped shape the pain his daughter had to unravel. And as EA continues to share her story, one thing is clear: this isn't just about Tom Hanks anymore. It's about what happens when public legacy collides with private truth. A story like this forces us to ask, how much do we really know about the people we admire? And what happens when their carefully curated image begins to blur? Because sometimes, the most surprising stories come from those we thought we knew best.